means to me that they're actually getting able to get that storm surge from a distance, which means that there's a strategy based around it. There must have been a ton of prep.
Absolutely. We'll see if they can sort of keep that going, because as we know with these 12-game formats, the meta evolves as the day, pans out, right? Queasy sort of mentioned it earlier. People freestyle, they figure things out as the games go by. So hopefully these guys can keep up with it.
Yeah, and I think it's an interesting point you bring up that obviously they're getting, it seems like they should have more eliminations, but then you look at the top of the leaderboard, you're like, oh yeah, Peterbot, Pollo, they're kind of like affecting the entire lobby. So 11 eliminations over 6 games, good enough, works for us. We wanted to also highlight Acorn and Cold for you, obviously just a powerhouse of a duo coming out of NA. And now once again, we have to look at everything through the lens of the 1.5 times multiplier, right?
They played super well yesterday, and I got to give a big shout out to the early game, right? How they actually handled being contested. First and foremost, just taking the fight to the other team and winning it, always there, and just always just so consistent, right? Levin, I got to give a shout out to you. Something that we talked about earlier yesterday was something that you gave a shout out to Acorn and Cold all the way at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, I remember we did an episode of the Drop Spot, right? The first one of 2024. And the lovely Adam Savage asked me, who do you think is going to win the Global Championships? This was before Major 1 was even played. And to me, the obvious answer was just Acorn and Cold, right? Because they're a duo you can rely on. You can guarantee they're going to step up, going to perform. To what you said there about, 1.5x multiplier, Zeke, just now, recently in Major 3, day 1 of Grand Finals in NA wasn't the best day for them. Day 2, they were the best team on day 2 with the 1.5x multiplier, right? And it shot them all the way up the standings. So I, hope to see more from that today with these two. I'm a massive Cold fan as well. I think he's probably the only player that you could say really has matched the level or come close to the level of Peterbot over the past year.
Cold gets so much love, and for good reason, right? I was like, how has Cold really played? Because we always see him towards the top of the leaderboard, and I took a look at it, and I was like, holy, it's like that? So Cold's made it to 13 FNCS finals. That includes Invitational and Globals last year. He has only placed outside of top 7 one time.
Gosh.
One time. Are you kidding me? So he's gotten top 7 12 times throughout FNCS. That's why those type of predictions are made.
I love to hear it. I love to hear it. And what we would love to do is hear from Acorn. Adam Savage is standing by. Over to you.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, I'm delighted to be joined by Acorn right now. We're just catching up about all things life in general, really. It's been such a great year for you guys, for you and Cold. Walk us through kind of like what happened yesterday, that first day. I want to talk about off-spawn particularly. Are things going in the right direction right now?
Okay, so yesterday was a good day. We ended up 5th. Off-spawn's looking good. We eliminated them 3 times, and the other 3 times we just split it. So depending on our situation, we kind of make a decision. But it's looking good. Overall, I feel like we're in control.
Because we were just talking just a second ago, and the confidence, despite the kind of like the big lead that Peterbot and Pollo have got themselves already, 5th place right now, there's still plenty to play for out there.
Oh, we're winning. Oh, 100% we're winning.
I love that.
We're only going for first. The thing about me is I need that trophy. That's what people have to understand. I'm going for that trophy. That's what I want. I got my eyes on it. If we have to land on Peterbot, we're landing on Peterbot.
I kind of respect the greediness. I love that. You want that trophy, it's yours. Talking about the rest of the day, I mean, this year you guys won Major 1. You've had an incredible time together as well. This will be the icing on the cake, obviously, but today, the 1.5 multiplier, how does that change things as well for the lobby in general and for you guys as a team?
I think it's great. 1.5 times multiplier, it makes everyone still try. Even if you're in 50th place, you could still end up top 5. So I think it's great. Also, me and Cold, we're a day 2 team, so we adapt really well. Once we play first day, we learn from it. Day 2, we come back, we come strong, and we make sure to close it out.
And finally, obviously, raising that trophy here in Fort Worth, the Global Championship trophy, to add to your career, the repertoire of stuff you've earned thus far, how great would it be here in this moment to do that in front of all your peers, all the other teams internationally, you and Cold lifting it high above your heads?
I mean, that's like one of my biggest goals. Like that, I think that's the only thing that's left in Fortnite for me is just a LAN win, so.
Well, there you go. You heard it from Acorn right there. Could Acorn and Cold go all the way? They have everything lined up. They're very close to that top spot. Will it happen? We'll wait and see. Back to Zeke and the gang.
I don't know if they got that on camera, but the moment that Acorn said, hey, we'll land on Peterbot, we'll land on Pollo if it has to go that way, the crowd erupted. They were like, yes, that's what we want to see. You can tell we've got some Acorn and Cold fans in the building.
Clearly they respect the courage, right? I think that's what this game is all about. But it's so interesting how Acorn sort of echoed a very similar sentiment to Thomas HD and Queasy, where it's like, this is that last thing we want to achieve in our careers, and we are willing to do anything to make that happen. There's a lot of legacy riding on today for a lot of our historic players.
I love the acknowledgement there from Acorn, right? Noticing or recognizing that they are a day 2 type of team. So it sounds like to me, they're feeling pretty confident.
And how many other duos are feeling the same thing, right? Day number 2, we've had it, and I kind of, again, I think back to the drop spot leading into this, right? Benno saying, hey, day 1, it's about kind of coming out with these strategies. And then day 2, everyone goes, okay, this is what we're kind of having to deal with. How are we going to respond, right? So some of these teams will definitely look to come out strong to just change. I mean, if we start to see people go, Peter Pollo, we're not going to give you that medallion. We need to take it back. I mean, how will that go? More to see in the future. With that being said, though, we were kind of curious to hear the players' thoughts on how they felt about each other. So take a listen.
This is the biggest tournament of the season.
100 players, 50 teams of 2, players all around the world. They all travel to one place to play on a stage in front of everyone.
One weekend, one map, last one standing wins the game. 12 games,